Hey, hey, hey! Hello, everyone! Oh my gosh, it is just amazing to be back here in the studio, streaming live from New York. Hey, I appreciate you all accommodating this slightly delayed time. We will be streaming at the normal time the rest of the week, but we are back here for our daily creative challenge on Adobe XD, and we're going to blow some things out of the water today and just have a lot of fun with learning experience design, particularly using Adobe XD. So it looks like we have a lot of people in the chat already that were tuned in with our last stream, which was just stellar. So hey to everyone in the chat. Hey, Kobe, Voodoo Val, Santaji, Joe. Of course, the Adobe Live team is tuned in, just knocking everything out of the park. Thanks, everyone. Gloria, hey, how's it going? Are y'all ready for the first ever 1 week long daily creative challenge? It's gonna be a little different this time because we're going to just accelerate through the week. Past weeks we would have like a kickoff stream, but this week we're cutting right to the chase and just having a blast with designing. And we're switching some things up with how we let you choose what your prompt is going to be. And fingers crossed, I think you're going to love it, but we'll see. Hey Justin, how's it going? So for those of you that are not familiar with the Daily Creative Challenge, let me show you something that I think will be a little helpful. So let's go to this page here. So this is behance.net/challenge/XD. So here we have our page here. And so, okay, so we have this blue button. Hi Sam, take the challenge. That blue button is going to be your key into just launching yourself into getting those notifications each morning for getting our UI kits. And so here's our first one for today. We're talking about usability and we're talking about mental wellness. And so we can get our starter file from there if we just click that. So that will be helpful to you. Also, I accidentally switched tabs. Actually, I accidentally closed the tab. But we can easily get back to it. Challenge/XD. Here we go. Boom. There's a community that just makes this all 100% better. I just want to make sure everyone is getting the stream here. Could you... Okay. Is everyone getting this? I just want to make sure that we're not I'm not streaming into thin air. So if you could type into the chat that we are live as I anticipate, that would be stellar. Okay, great. Thank you, Voodoo. Okay. Sorry about that. I had some weird hiccups. Okay, that's great. Thank you. So our Discord community, which is this, thank you. Awesome. Wow. Okay. It's all coming in like 30 seconds later. The chat, it takes a little while for everyone to come in. So our Discord community here is critical because what's great about this is that you can share your designs with everyone and we can actually give feedback to each other and share like what we're working on. And I'll actually be actively in here sharing feedback. We have some of the previous challenge work that's in here, which is great. So previous challenges, which we're just knocking out of the park. And so I'll show you how you can share your work in there. And then eventually we're going to upload to Behance right here. So I'll show you how to upload to Behance as well, which will be a blast. Cool stuff. Okay, should we get started? So if you've downloaded your Daily Creative Challenge starter file, then this should look familiar to you. We're talking about mental wellness. Okay, so Daily Creative Challenge, this is day 1. We have a few more days left of this, and it's going to be a blast. So this is going to be different than what you're used to if you've done other Daily Creative Challenges because you get to craft your how might we statement, and your how might we statement is going to be what crafts everything that you center yourself around with your design. And these challenges aren't actually as much about that end product as it is about your process to get there. And so what I'm really fascinated to see with everyone's work this time around through this week is, how do you show how you get to your process, and how do you actually choose an idea? What like that is actually what design is about. It's not about making a pretty looking end product. I think it's actually more about how you get there. And so that's what this is about. I want everyone to focus on the process, because even if you don't have the snazziest design skills to make something look pretty, I think you can have lots of deep thinking behind it and still really go a long way. What do you think? Does that make sense? Hey, Justin, how's it going? Corey, that's great. So let's start at the top here. So we're starting with a how might we. And so I've given you a lovely little template here that allows you to form this how might we statement, which is going to craft all of your design for this particular day of the challenge. And all of these word clouds, these formulas that you can choose from for the future challenges, they're all different. They all have different words in them, and so the possibilities are actually really endless. So there's 256 different options. That's 256 different possible prompts just for today. Just for today. So everyone can actually be working on something totally different. We don't actually have to all be working on the same thing, which is, just a blast. And what's great about this is that we all get to work on different things. We all get to see what prompts that we're working on, and hopefully you get to choose some words that actually have meaning to you, and kind of help shape a project that would have a higher level of interest to you than you normally would with just a prescribed prompt. So you can choose any of these words, one for each of the columns, right? And then if you want, you could actually change some of the words, which is, that can be fun too. Why not? I'm giving you a starting point, but by no means do you have to actually settle for these. But for our purposes today, I'm going to follow through with just one of the 256 possible design solutions. And by the way, 256 times the 5 days that we're streaming, all with different words, that's 1,280. I did this math before. I'm not that good at math. I can't do math on the spot like that. 1,280, I think, possible design prompts throughout all of these 5 days. So wow, that's amazing. Everyone that's working on this could have a different prompt. Isn't that amazing? So I'd like to think about measure. So how might we measure? And this is all in the context of mental wellness. So that's how, when I was thinking of these words, that's where I was pulling from. It's what would are good words for designing around mental wellness? So how might we measure? And then I'm thinking we do personable. How might we measure? And so I'm just moving them into line there, into the spots. How might we measure personable? Journaling. I think, not that one. I'll move this all the way up. How might we measure personal journaling? And when you start thinking about these in new ways, you start uncovering, this is the brainstorming juice that you start thinking. When you start thinking of designs, that this is a good prompt. If you're choosing words that you're already starting to get ideas for, you're on the right path. So how might we measure personable journaling for, let's say, athletes? I think this will be a challenge for me. I'm not an athlete, but can we design for one? Perhaps we can. And like I said, you can change these if you want, but these are the ones that I'm recommending we start with to get our headspace into mental wellness. And so once you have your prompt, then here's the fun part. Remember I said, if you're choosing a prompt that you already start to have ideas with, then it's a good prompt. That's what you're searching for, because we're turning that how might we statement into an actionable brainstorm. And so this is a really fun part of it, where I want all of you, I have these digital sticky notes here in the file, and before the stream started, I put in some of my ideas. But with these digital sticky notes, I want you to answer this question. What is the how do you answer this question for what your design is going to do? Is it going to entice data-driven meditation for high schoolers? Like, maybe it will. How is it going to do that? And so here are my like 3 like off-the-cuff ideas for how might we measure personable journaling for athletes. So we're talking about measurement. That makes me think of artificial intelligence. It makes me think of tracking trends, and like it makes me think of like the Apple Watch and like performance and doing better and being encouraged to do better. Personable makes me think that it's all about me. It's not necessarily a team activity, but it could be. And then journaling, which you don't necessarily associate with athletes. That's the fun about this. Journaling, how could we work journaling in? It's those weird off-the-cuff words that are going to like push your design process just a little bit further to come up with those really gold ideas. And then athletes, so everything's going to be related to sports or activity, physical activity of some kind. Even though we are still serving that objective of mental wellness, because a future challenge is actually going to be physical wellness, and so we'll dive into that as well. So each day is a different type of wellness. So today is mental wellness. We have digital wellness another day. It's going to be a blast. Nutritional wellness. Oh, I can't wait. So here's one idea. Runtime run analysis. So this idea is that we can track and reflect when you go running, and that after you track your running session, you can prepare yourself by like opening this app and journaling about your run, let's say. And so maybe after you journal about your run, then the app will analyze everything that you've said and actually help you prepare for your next run. So maybe if you say like, oh, this was kind of a bit challenging for me, then it will know to adjust your next run perhaps. So maybe there's an app that can use journaling in that respect. See, even like crazy, weird questions can have answers that feel like real solutions. And that's just what's gold about this. This one's called Team Player. It's good to name your ideas. Don't just write the idea. If you give it a name, it becomes like this thing more than just an idea. So try to give it a name. It'll really just elevate your design idea to the next level. So Team Player. Keep teams aligned by using AI to analyze teammates' responses to find areas of improvement. And this one is actually similar to the first one, but it's related to sports teams. How can, if everyone performs in a game and then reflects in an app, let's say, this app that we're designing, can we then like use artificial intelligence, AI, to like look for those keywords or what the main piece of sentiment that the team is feeling after playing, and then use that to like propose a new plan for the team. Why not? It's using journaling, right? And then this one is Exercise for Breakfast, which is an app where it's about journaling first. So I kind of switched. The other ones are very like, they're very focused on like getting out there and getting fit. But this one's actually an app about journaling. And maybe also what this app does is lets you, like after, again, it's using AI to analyze like your journal entry. Can you see the common thread here? And then it'll find a workout plan that works best for you based on like what types of things you're saying. So if you say like, oh, like today was like a really stressful day for me, like then perhaps it will recommend like, hey, you should go for like a really long walk or a run to like get that energy out. Or maybe if you say like today was an energizing day, then maybe it recommends like a more like yoga, right? Like something that's more subdued, right? And so this one I called Exercise for Breakfast. You can just come up with fun names. I don't know. It's actually not as much about exercise as it is. Also, I spelled it wrong. As it is about like journaling. So maybe it's like journaling for breakfast, because I want to stay focused on mental wellness for this, not as much physical wellness, even though we are designing for athletes. That's just our target group. But we do want to make sure the athletes have the mental, that they're ready up here, right? Right? Yes, absolutely. And so you can have these ideas, but you know what up-level them even further is having just like little depictions of what they are. So let's make little depictions of what they are. And so I explained what those are to you, but let's just describe them. And I encourage you to do this on your file too, where we're starting to depict the idea a little bit more visually. So let's say we have a word here, stressed, and like this is being, I'm going to show that this is being pulled out from, like, let's say maybe like a speech bubble, right? So I'll send that to the back, right? Stressed, and let's add like a little speech bubble here. I'm going to stay, quick because I am designing live and I only have so much time, but hopefully you all will get the idea. So stressed, let's make that a darker color, like that. And then we're going to show maybe like the other bubble, it's responding, right? Because the idea is that it's listening and it's responding, right? And this one we'll make a little lighter. And that will be, I think we should do an emoji. So we can do emojis in XD. It's a little clunky, but this is how I'm doing it. So if we go to emojipedia.org, then we can look up emojis and then just really kind of like easily copy and paste them. If I can do it here, yeah, copy. That's Discord, not that. And then if we make a text box in XD, we can just paste it. There we go. And that's like a really quick way of just describing that idea. Boom. So stressed, and then it's like recommending running, right? That's the app on that side. Okay, team player. Keep teams aligned by using AI to analyze teammates' responses. So for this one, I think I had the soccer ball pulled up before. I think I want to use the soccer ball or football, depending on where you are in the world. So I'm going to pull that up here. And maybe I'll actually use that, the running emoji again. So let's make that bigger. But this one's about team, right? This one's about the team. So we're gonna have multiple people, and the idea here is that we're looking for areas of improvement, right? For the team. So how can we depict that maybe a little bit? I don't know. What does improvement look like? What's maybe like an emoji that we can use that indicates improvement? I know. Oh, there's a like upward trend. Chart increasing. Here's an emoji. Let's use this one. Cool. Let's do it. I think some people have strong opinions about football versus soccer in the chat, right? Yeah. Joe says, it is football, only Americans call it soccer. It's true, only Americans call it soccer. And we'll put that there. Does that depict the idea? So it's the team, they're playing soccer, and it's a chart going up because it's helping them improve. And then run time, run analysis. I think running is becoming a theme across all of these. It doesn't have to be though. And this is going to be all about like being mentally prepared for like maybe a big run. So let's do the brain. And so I'll use the brain emoji. And so I actually encourage you to maybe get as deep as you can with describing these. Actually, I'll put a little arrow. I think I'll put a little arrow, like the person's running to the brain. Like they're seeking, not only are they running physically, but they're actually physically seeking that fulfillment. Because why not? Getting visual with the ideas when you're presenting to them to other people, oh my gosh, it goes so far. If you just have text, it doesn't really go that far when you're especially if you're describing something to a visual learner, like oftentimes we are, because we're designers presenting to other designers. Having those visual things just takes it 10 times higher. Oh, this is great. So now we we have 3 ideas, and I'm feeling particularly attracted to actually this last one, journaling for breakfast. This bottom part of the design is where we're articulating what that design is. And so you'll notice I spent most of our time here focusing on the process, because that's what it's all about, and then we'll spend the rest of our time just whipping out a design. So journaling for breakfast, let's call it, because why not, is a reflection app. And I encourage you all to actually fill this out in your own design file as well. It's a reflection app that tracks your responses to give personalized workouts for athletes, right? Oh, that looks great. Let's make this a little bigger so it all fits. And that's our app. That's our app in a sentence. And so I started thinking about some of these, and I have it here. So exercise for breakfast, or that's the old name. We're doing, remember we changed it, journaling. We're focusing on journaling. Journaling for breakfast. Perhaps we stay active when we have these roaring lines come into view, and it looks like you're kind of going down a tunnel, doesn't it? So maybe that's like our start screen. I designed that before we started here. And maybe this goes up to our top. And then the main part of our app, remember, is that journaling aspect. So let's just hop right into it by showing that journaling aspect. So we'll have a text box. Let's go further to the whole width. And we're going to have a prompt at the beginning as well. So and the thing about asking a question is you want to be specific. You don't want to be too open-ended, or else people won't know like what to say. Like if you say, how was your day, people are just going to write good. So like because we're trying to get insightful information from to inside this app, let's say let's not do all caps, let's do regular. Okay, nope, there we go. Oh. How do we get rid of all caps? There we go. Okay. Oh, I can't, I'm forever stuck into all caps. Let's just make a new text box. Okay. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry about that. So let's make this smaller because that's way too big. So tell me the highlights and lowlights of your day today. So that's like more specific than just like, how was your day, right? We want to actually get people talking. And something more specific like that is actually probably more likely to get people talking. And let's maybe do like a shadow on this. And actually I'm thinking we go to a solid blue background. Again, this isn't as much about the design, and it's more about our process, but we'll still have some fun with our design here. Give that a background. And the idea is we can make a prototype out of this and, you know, bring it to the next level in terms of actually giving it to people and seeing what they think. We can find athletes and give this to them. You can put it on your phone with the XD mirroring app, and you can actually give your phone to someone and like be like, hey, what do you think of this? Okay, journaling for breakfast. Tell me the highlights and lowlights of your day today. And then there's probably like a submit button, right? Cool. Probably all at the bottom. Maybe this like kind of a big text box. There's something about a big text box that will actually invite people to write more. If the text box was this big, people are just going to write good or like, you know, not so much. But it's kind of like those worksheets in school where the teacher would give you like 10 lines instead of 2 because they actually want you to write a little bit more than just 1 or 2 words. And so that's another way that I'm indicating that. And then we'll have our button here, and this button's going to be like next, right? And then very quickly on our next page, we're going to show those workout plans that are personalized. And perhaps there's actually probably a loading state in between these, right? Where it analyzes, you know, And we could do that. I don't have enough time today to do that, but that's okay. I trust that everyone knows what a loading screen looks like. So here are your plans, your personalized plans, and alliterates. Personalized plans. And in here, we can actually start diving into what those plans would be. And I don't have enough time to articulate those, but we can imagine that they each have maybe like a picture of what that idea is for that workout, let's say, and then maybe like a name, and maybe it has some description underneath. And you could turn this into a fully fledged idea that you could share with people and get buy-in around, like, is this idea that you came up with a bunch of words actually viable as a design solution? Because that's what you're trying to answer. Not everything is about the end visual result. But of course, you do share this back. Let's say you share it in Discord and you have fun and you get feedback from me and all the other thousands of people in here. Then you can share it you can share your lovely design back on Behance. You can upload a photo, you can tell your story. Have fun with it, right? Have fun with it. And then when you upload, right, so you give it a title. I'm just have to wrap up pretty soon here. My half hour is up. But you give it a description, and when you add a keyword, when you're uploading it to Behance, do XD Daily Challenge. That's going to be key, because then when you publish it, you'll see everyone else's, look, these are all the other from the past Daily Creative Challenge. These are everyone else's works, and you'll be right there with them. So I can't wait to see how you guys tackle 256 possibilities for design solutions. It's going to be a blast, and I'm here to take you, to help you through this journey, because, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one. One last little thing. The slide that I'm about to go to is going to be like different than the one I think we intended, but Paco, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to change that image. But apart from that, we will be back here at the original time frame earlier in the day. Tomorrow, depending on where in the world you are, that'll change the time of day. But we'll be back with another wellness-oriented challenge, and I can't wait to see you there. Thank you all for participating and tuning in a little bit later this time, but you know, thanks for being patient with me. So I will see you all in Discord and back here tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.